Hi, I'm Jason Gore for ThatShelf.com, and we're here to look at the BBC Concerts vinyl set from Genesis.
Shelf.
So this is one of those other videos that are recorded in complete unboxing, ripping up the plastic, doing all that stuff, looking at how the vinyl actually looked. And my camera was out of focus because, this is what happens sometimes when you self-produce. But nonetheless, I did want to give a shout out to this release. This is one I'm quite excited about. I am a little bit annoyed that this is one of those cases where the digital release includes much more that's actually on the vinyl release. I would love, even if it's direct to consumer, that they actually did these releases that allow people that prefer to listen to this stuff on vinyl to actually have the chance to get all the tracks, particularly when it comes to live stuff like this. That being said, there's enough on here that actually warranted for me being able to listen to it. And if, God forbid, I wanted to listen to the entire thing, of course I could listen to it on digital. It clearly will be digitally sourced, etc., etc. It's just, as I've said many times before, my vinyl setup is now substantially better than my digital setup. And so for me, when I'm sitting down and doing sort of active listening, that's the way that I tend to prefer. Your mileage may differ. This goes right from, the first thing is Musical Box from Paris 1972, and it goes all the way up to 1992 Knebworth shows. It is a trifold, and this is also something relatively interesting. What does it say before I open it up? 24-track 3 LP set featuring the group's work recorded by the BBC between 1970 and 1998. New notes written by Michael Hahn, contains singles, blah, blah, blah. So when you have trifolds like this, I have, thanks to Vinyl Me Please, Vinyl Storage Solutions, I have sort of a trick to actually get it. They sell this sort of middle way of getting it, that you basically put two of the other sleeves on the outside and one on the inside. I'm not sure this is the best way to do it, but this is certainly the way I do it, and it allows me to kind of have the records this way, and this sort of middle bit is sort of all stuck together. But the records themselves came in paper-lined sleeves. It was not polylined vinyl, which is a bit frustrating, which is why, of course, I've washed them and put them in my VSS sleeves. You can see that there's full breakdown essays at that sort of element. If I go into the middle here, normally the other record would sort of slide into this middle trifold, but I have both records in this pocket, record 2 and record 3, same element, more on paper essays, original images, finally one with Gabriel in it, and then the last record with, again, the final portions of the essay, and then a bunch of late period Genesis artwork, including their revised version of the logo, which is the one that they used extensively. You can see really amazing shots of, that certainly looks like Knebworth to me, a repeat of the one that's actually on the cover, and then you have the band at its different variations. There will be 3 variation, and then there were 3, excuse me, and other elements like that. Now, I happen to be recording this when I'm heading out to see the Selling in England by the Pound show at the Danforth Music Hall here in Toronto with Musical Box, the French-Canadian artists that do this stuff live. And if you've never had a chance to do that, for me, that is almost a definitive way of seeing what Genesis did. There's all kinds of stories about the members of Genesis actually taking their kids to see Musical Box shows to show this is how they did it with vintage instruments and stuff, etc. So I am a big fan of when they when you actually get to explore some of the older Genesis shows. So this for me was an absolute no-brainer. Again, my only limitation is that it would have been nice if it would have shown up in polyline sleeve. That being said, the records themselves are pretty decent, clean. You can see some of the artwork. That's the We Can't Dance imagery. Pretty straightforward. The record itself is spotless. It came without too much in the way of, after cleaning, it just looks as perfect as you would want it to be. The others, you can see slightly more esoteric artwork. And then the last one is in here somewhere. Where I put it, there's where I put it. And that has old school Gabo right on there, the flower costume from Supper's Ready. Speaking of, wouldn't it be nice to have like 7 sides of this, just different versions of Supper's Ready? Maybe that'll be a box set for my own proclivities. Nonetheless, it's a very quick look at the Genesis BBC vinyl. I have lots to dig into, and this is certainly something that I'm looking forward to giving justice to. Would have been nice to have the entirety of it, but I'm really happy that at the very least this release is in a general availability and gives you a shot to actually see decades worth of this band through their remarkable transformations in a live event. I think these BBC releases are actually quite extraordinary. I've been bootlegged all to hell, but it's really nice that they're actually going back to some original source materials and making them sound as good as they do. For ThatShelf.com, I'm Jason Gorber. Thank you so much for watching. Follow us on social media, subscribe, like this video, leave us some comments, and we'll see you next video. All the best. Take care.